I'm going to do a quick run through of my arrangement for Mississippi Delta Blues by Jimmie Rodgers. It's a song I've always liked, and I decided to work up a guitar arrangement for it. Let me show you the chords for it. Actually, let me play you I'll play you the verse. Just going to talk about the verse in this part. So the chord progression, and here's how I approach an arrangement like this. I'm going to figure out what the chords are, and for this I looked at some chords. I found some chords on the web, searched around, maybe find a lead sheet. I also listened very closely to Jimmie Rodgers' recording of it, Merle Haggard's recording of it, Bob Wills' recording of it, just to kind of see the way that they were doing it, because people will use slightly different chord progression or chord substitutions or whatever sometimes, but this is what I came up with. So when you make an arrangement like this, the key is to figure out what the chords are, then figure out how you can play the melody in the context of those chords, and that's really as simple as that. And you come up with little ideas and little tricks that kind of add to it, add a little sparkle to it. So the basic chords are sort of this 1, 6, 2, 5 progression, which in the key of A would be A, F sharp, B, 7, and then E. 1, 6, 1, 6, 2, 5. Now let me show you how I play it. Okay, so the melody is, and I do that just playing my A like this, 5th position A. Now notice when I go down and get that note, it happens to be the major 7th. My thumb is just hitting all 3 of these notes in the bass are fair game for my thumb. As long as I keep this 3rd finger on that there, I can move these around without kind of messing up the bass. So I have the opportunity to do it. Okay, now the rest of the melody. Here's the melody then. Kind of quick, a little bit hard to play there, but what I'm doing is that's the melody, and what I want to get to is from this A to this F sharp 7th. And it's cool. The melody there is the sharp 5 and then the regular 5. I have found that understanding the melody and understanding what degree of the chord, what note in the scale or of that chord is, it can be kind of helpful in thinking about chord shapes and such. So this one, for instance, is a major 7th, and then that's the 6th and that's the 5th. So, and knowing that the melody note is the raised 5th, I know that that's a common chord progression for a raised 5th. That's the 2nd fret with my thumb, and then 2nd fret with my pointer finger on the D string. It's basically just this with the 5th raised. Yeah. So it's really so even though the melody note goes up to there, it's nice to have that descending thing still in that other voice. Okay, so now we've gone from A, F sharp 7th to B 7th. I used the B 9th version to get the notes I wanted. B 7th. Now we're going to go back to the 1 chord, and that's an E right there. It's just like your D slid up. It's just a common way that you might go into an E there, so it just works with the melody. So again, following the melody, but it's not just getting the chord progression and then getting the melody notes. Sometimes you want to just play the melody and then figure out how to nicely harmonize it, figure out what notes go around it. So here, just sliding into that A from a half step below is really a nice way to catch the melody that you want. So E, B7, and now what I'm going to do is just a little turnaround and common chord progression. Again, it's a kind of a form. It's kind of an alternate form of a 6-5-2-1 or 6-2-5-1. Sorry. So. Then we go back. That's a kind of tough grip to grab, but you'll get used to it. I still need to get faster at it, but so notice I'm going from the A to now this chord, which is an E, and that's going to be I'm playing the sixth on top, so it's an E6. Now I'm going to my C sharp seventh. I've got my seventh there as my melody note. Now, interestingly, this C sharp, where does that come from? What role does that play? Well, that's the third in A. So another common chord progression is not just the 6-2-5-1, but the 3-6-2-5-1, because 3, that C sharp is going to lead you into the F sharp. Anyway, so let's play through that. That's what you really want to do. Then we go to the F sharp. So remember, our melody's that. How do I play that with an F sharp? Well, I'm going to play the ninth, the 1, and the 7. Okay, so that's my F sharp. Next chord is a B seventh. That's the 2. This was the 6, 2, 5. So we're going to go again. Sometimes I embellish this last chord this way. I'll show you. Not necessary, but just kind of a nice thing that leads you back into the other part, or to the beginning again. So I'm going to sing. I'm going to play this through, and I'm going to sing the verse while I do it, so you know where I am. Oh, I'm not singing. With friends around and even pals I know are true, still I'm lonesome, homesick and blue. There's no one who can cheer me when I'm alone, longing for my Mississippi home, way down on the levee. Okay, so that's the whole verse. And I'm going to leave it at that for this video. And I'm going to do another video, a part 2, where I cover the chorus. Anyway. It's a little bit complicated, but once you do it, or I wouldn't say it's a little complicated and it's a little bit hard to get the grips, but what I have found is that practicing it, it just gets easier, and you learn to stretch your fingers and know where they need to end up and all that kind of thing. So anyway, it works out pretty well. And I like doing stuff like that too, like finding out what little slides and things work out nicely. It's also nice to listen, like I said, to the old recordings. The ones that I listened to were the Merle Haggard, the Bob Wills, and the Jimmie Rodgers, to get different ideas about different embellishments and things like that.